So I found myself in a very small realm, and this realm was just big enough to encompass a couple houses and a couple backyards. It had this weird residential feel to it, but everything was aesthetics. There's no functionality with this realm. It's like people are just passing through this area and not really staying in it and trying to interact with things. Like it's a through point of some sort. And this woman comes to me and she says, "You need to go to hell and do something, otherwise hell's going to come to earth." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to hell." And she got all upset and flew away. And I just said that because I can't just take her word for it and go to hell. I can't just, believe that this event's going to happen eventually. So I just was like, no. And I took a look at the vortices in the middle of the realm. They were pretty big. There were two vortices, and they were not conflicting with each other. They were not in the process of combining. This is pretty interesting. Usually they do either of these things when they're this close. The tops and bottoms of the vortices were touching each other. One was a fiery color and one was blue. The blue one was an entry point to Earth. The fiery one was an entry point to the hell that this woman was speaking of. And I thought she was talking about a biblical hell. Then I started looking at the details of this thought form, because I know with real-time projection you can adjust your scope with a couple of tricks. You can go down to the mechanics of space. You can zoom out and see clusters of galaxies. You can do that kind of thing. I was like, I want to see how far down I can get on this thought form realm, because these particular realms are just maintained and built by humans like you and I wanted to see exactly how detailed they were, because this one seemed pretty detailed. So I started to zoom in on the material you would see on housing, and I went down and I found details that were like a millimeter in diameter, like little embossments, and that was about it. I couldn't zoom in any further without entering a blank area. I started to feel the pull from the fiery vortex that was the closest one to me, and I zoomed back out and I tried to move away from the fiery vortex to escape its influence, but I couldn't. I was already too close to it. I was at the point of no return, because I don't want to go to hell. That's a terrible idea. I was trying to resist, and that woman that I was talking to, she was like, "There's nothing you can do. You can't resist it." And it just sucked me in. Yeah, I was pretty surprised that these vortices were not tearing apart the environment, because they were very big. They accounted for much of the environment. A lot of the human constructs were built very close to these things, yet the human constructs were fine. And I always forget to look at the top and bottom of these things to establish exactly what they're connected to, or if they're part of a toroid or something. I think it's pretty important, but I always forget. Anyways, that's it for that part. See you next video.